Ladies and gentlemen, one thing I can honestly tell you, it is hard to live in the Northeast and you're broke. It really is. This is not an easy place to be broken. You know, the Northeast, the cost of living is high. And property taxes are outrageous in a lot of these northeastern states in the U.S. Now, for example, here in New Jersey, we lose more people than folks moving in from other places. And it's been like this even when I was a child. The property taxes in the state of New Jersey are outrageous, but there are some things, you know, there's some perks, but there's a lot of drawbacks. Now, one perk is gasoline prices tend to be a lot cheaper. You know, in fact, I used to work with people that lived in Pennsylvania, but they would only get their gas in New Jersey. And some would even drive from Pennsylvania across the bridge when they need to gas up and get a full tank of gas because it was just so cheap. And another thing is groceries tend to be cheaper in the state of New Jersey because we pay a higher price for property taxes. Groceries are cheaper, and that was another thing. I knew people from also Pennsylvania that I worked with. They would always do their grocery shopping only in New Jersey. They wouldn't do any over in Pennsylvania because they said the prices were just crazy. And some of the items, they were telling me some of the prices over in Pennsylvania, they were double on the items that they were paying for in New Jersey. So there are some perks, but there's a lot of drawbacks, and the cost of living is definitely one of them. This story is about New York. Right now, the people that are leaving New York is exploding, and it's to the point where even the governor is concerned about the amount of people that are leaving New York. Now, New York is, again, you know, if you are broke, the Northeast is a tough place to be if you are a person that don't have a lot of money. It's a tough place to be. And, you know, COVID has claimed a lot of New York jobs. And many of these folks are relying on the unemployment and whatever crumbs the politicians decide to throw at us. And you just can't make it in a place like New York. You know, you look at the apartment prices there opposed to the state that I'm in. It's like day and night. So where are New Yorkers going? A big chunk of them are going to Florida. They are leaving New York permanently and going to Florida. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know, it is setting off alarms with the amount of people that are leaving. So this is actually a partner paper of USA Today, Low HUD, and New York again leads nation in population decline, and it could now lose 2 House seats. And New York was losing a lot of people even before COVID, but since COVID, it has really gone through the roof. It has gone through the roof for real. The Big Apple continues to get smaller. New York population continues to decline more than any state in the nation, and new figures released Tuesday by the U.S. Census Bureau. The Empire State's population fell by 126,355 people between July 2019 and July 2020.
At Carrabba's Italian Grill, every dish tells a story. Lasagna has always been special to me and my family. My grandmother would always make her grandchildren on their birthday whatever they wanted, and it just seemed like every year my favorite dish was lasagna. We prepare it the same way my grandmother prepared it. First of all, you have to make a pomodoro sauce. Then you cook your pasta, you lay it out, you put your pasta down. We splotch the meat sauce, the ricotta cheese, the Romano cheese, and then we layer it. It's all the flavors you could ask for in one bite. So come celebrate at your local Carrabba's and enjoy our one-of-a-kind lasagna.
Over the age of 50, cheese can leave a permanent mark on the brain.
0.3 million, a drop of 0.65%. So this is according to the preliminary figures. That is the most of any state by total and percentage. The population decline continues to be a problem for New York, and it could play out all the way till 2022 during the federal reappointment. At this point, New York could lose as many as 2 U.S. House seats. It is, it will certainly make a difference for real, for New York if they lose 2 seats. Not only that, New York could be on its way to its first population decline in any decade since the 1970s, according to the Empire Center, a fiscally conservative link. So this is a think tank. The New York population has been boosted by immigrants and new births, but even that has tailed off in recent years. So they're not even getting as many immigrants as they once used to get in New York. Usually New York was the place to go. Those immigrants would always get those taxi car driver jobs. You go to New York and you see the taxi car drivers, they are always foreigners, and they would always flock there, and a lot of times driving those taxis would be their first jobs, in the state of New York until they eventually go on to do something else. So the 2020 estimate, New York population represented a net decline of 41,326, or 0.21, from the official decennial census count, which was in 2010, largely because foreign immigrants into the state has fallen off sharply since 2017. So now when foreigners come here, they don't head to New York like they used to. See, heading to New York from any other country was a big deal back in the day, and they would always try to aspire to be in New York. But that has sharply declined, as you can see. That is not the preferred place for foreigners anymore. So it's been dropping off since 2017 in line with the national trend. So right now, New York had the biggest decline in the nation from 2019-2020, and the trend is continuing into 2021. The second state with the largest population drop is California, and then that's followed by Texas. A lot of people are leaving out of Texas too.